Hey, I'm John.
And I'm Josh.
And we are talking about college football 2020 season. And we just had the week 10 this past week. And so let's just talk about what happened. First, let's start with your upset calls. How'd that go?
Right, my upset calls. So I said that Miami was going to lose to NC State.
Yeah, you did.
And man, did I think I gotten it. I was like, oh, this
it was
is it.
So close.
We're going to do it. NC State chokes in the end.
They did choke in the end.
Miami comes back 44-41.
Yep.
I don't feel bad about that call. It was close.
Yep.
Don't regret it.
Yep.
Also, don't regret my second call, even though I didn't get either one right this week. I thought this one was also a close game.
Close, yeah.
West Virginia at number 22, Texas. West Virginia had 13, Texas 17. 4-point game. Either one, the upset could have won at the end.
It could have.
They just ended up choking it out.
Hey, both of them one's a 4-point ball game, but 3-point, 4-point. So,
yeah, so it was both are great games, honestly. NC State, Miami was so fun to watch. And then, not one of my upsets, but my team played. Number 9 BYU played at number 21 Boise State. Wasn't pretty, 59-17.
Yeah.
Kind of as expected based off the beginning of the game. Our third string quarterback who was starting that game got a concussion on the first play that he ran. So it was some kid named Finnegan who hadn't played football in 2 years because he just came back from some Mormon mission trip, I believe. So, no luck there.
I thought the mission trip was Sears.
No, Finnegan as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he hadn't played football, like a real football game up to that point in over 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So his last time to play was in high school 2 years before that.
Yep.
Okay.
That's tough.
That is tough.
And it was noticeable.
And it showed.
Yeah. And Zach Wilson did great, obviously. Great quarterback.
Basically what that ended up meaning, and this is what, Zach Wilson did great. Okay. What do you have? 350, 360 yards.
Plus yards.
A couple touchdowns.
Essentially, it all came in the second half once the defense realized, hey, our offense isn't going to do anything for us.
Yes.
The defense tried their absolute best in the first half. They did well. It was like a 17-something game after the first half. And after that, the defense was like,
what gives Wilson, even sort of pads his stats, is when you have these constant 3 and outs on Boise's offense, that just puts Wilson back on the field over and over again. And what was it? 8 punts?
8 punts.
And an interception.
So 2 interceptions,
it's like, what can you do against that?
And this was a Boise team who, before Finnegan, had 0 turnovers all season long.
Yeah.
2 interceptions because of Finnegan. Rough game for Boise fans.
Yeah, and I know BYU for them, in the top 10. It was
a great win.
Arguably their
first win ever
their
at
biggest
Boise.
Game too of the season, really.
Yeah, and they dominated.
So
good for them.
Yeah, that sort of sets them up. All right, some upsets, a couple of them. One was Michigan and Indiana.
Let's go Hoosiers.
Yeah,
man, I think this could be it for.
But is this really
Harbaugh.
An upset? Is this really an upset?
I believe Michigan was favored, even though Indiana was ranked higher.
Okay.
I think this is Jim Harbaugh's last year at Michigan.
Oh,
I think he's going to be fired at the rate he's going.
Hard to do
Unless they beat Ohio
State,
I don't think Michigan has any chance of not firing Harbaugh.
And who knows? Maybe they'll never even play. The rate this season's going, it's possible.
Who knows?
So then a big one, and this messed up a lot of people's picks. Everybody knew Liberty was doing good, but they did not expect them to be able to play against a Power 5 team like Virginia Tech. But they did. Man,
the ending of this game, if you didn't watch it, I would go watch. Liberty, with 0 seconds left, tries to, or not 0, a couple, 7 seconds left or something, tries to kick a really, really, really long field goal.
Almost 60 yards.
Ridiculously long. All right. It gets blocked by Virginia Tech and returned for a touchdown. The game's over. Virginia Tech wins, but wait.
Yeah.
Virginia Tech's coach called a timeout before the play.
Virginia Tech's coach?
Yes, Virginia Tech's coach. So Liberty gets another try, and instead of kicking the field goal, they go for a 15-yard quick play,
get out of
bounds
with 4 seconds left.
Makeable field goal, nails the kick.
Yes.
Liberty wins.
It's still a long field goal.
Absolutely ridiculous game.
Yeah.
Just exactly what you would expect from number 25 Liberty playing a Power 5 team like Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
It was a great game for Liberty. Virginia Tech just on a spiral of despair. Since the beginning of their season.
Liberty really just hung on to that one. Malik Willis, the Auburn transfer, did a really good job at quarterback. Actually, both quarterbacks, if you look at their stats at the end of the game, they're pretty similar.
Neither one was awful. They both played well.
They almost had exact same number of yards. But yeah, it was a very interesting game to watch. It really was. It was entertaining. So interesting, I would say, would be because again, this is not technically an upset, I don't think, because you had number 1 Clemson versus number 4 Notre Dame. So everybody was expecting this to be a good game, and it was. I'm impressed with that. Granted, Trevor Lawrence wasn't there.
Yeah, a lot of. I'm not making excuses for Clemson. Don't like Clemson. They were missing a lot of key pieces in this game. And it's probably going to be a rematch of Clemson versus Notre Dame later on, and they'll probably have those missing pieces back.
Yeah.
I would say Notre Dame's in trouble if it gets to that point.
But the thing about it is this: as far as Ukulele, the quarterback for Clemson, he's playing lights out.
Yeah, he's statistically,
this
is an awesome statistic. Don't know if you saw this when they put it up. He got more yards in this game than Trevor Lawrence has ever gotten in a football game. I had more throwing yards. Yeah. 440 throwing yards. Crazy great game for him. The problem for Clemson definitely came down to their defense and Etienne.
Yes.
Etienne got nothing. He's still in the Heisman picture. Don't know why.
He got like 28 yards in the game.
Awful game
at least
for him.
Rushing yards. And I don't know if he even got much in the way of receiving yards. So.
This was a fun game, though.
It was a fun game.
47 to 40. So high scoring.
Yeah.
Definitely deserved game day. I'm kind of glad it was good. Yeah. And now everyone's saying, ooh, Clemson, you play a good game in the middle of the season, all of a sudden you're not going to win anymore. Maybe they should play someone like Notre Dame every year.
Yeah.
Maybe they should.
They should.
Maybe Notre Dame should stick in the ACC. I don't know. So far this year, like based off of the excitement of like Notre Dame playing different ACC teams, I think they should stay. Who knows what will happen?
I think they should stay as well. I think it's good for Notre Dame, good for ACC. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't quite see that happening. Then we had number 8 Florida, and they were at number 5 Georgia. Mm-hmm. Again, everybody was expecting this to be a bruiser. Most people probably would have given the nod to Georgia.
I was leaning towards Georgia as well.
But Georgia just cannot get on track with offense.
Here's the problem.
They can't do it.
And we should have thought about this beforehand. Bennett for Georgia, he got either hurt or benched during that game.
No, he didn't get hurt. He got
benched. That's tough.
Yeah.
And Trask for Florida, man. This kid, I mean, it's kind of to me like a Joe Burrow story because I remember him last year and I was never that impressed with him.
Yeah.
Just like Joe Burrow, the year he lost to Troy before Clemson, before LSU's magical season. Trask is the real deal. And if I was Alabama fans, Florida's the team that looks like...
Would rather have had Georgia in the SEC championship.
Sure, 100% sure. Yes, Florida looks like they're just the real deal right now.
Yep.
The only team they lost to is Texas A&M. And here's, like, Alabama should be concerned about them because of Trask. It's going to be a Mac Jones versus Trask show of two
and Florida's defense is pretty good.
Yeah,
Florida's defense is pretty good. Florida got 24 points in the second quarter. So pretty much the game was over at halftime.
Yeah, it was a tough game for Georgia.
Which is really tough for Georgia. Okay, then we had as far as the Pac-12,
opening week.
Their opening week, and so you had Arizona State, USC. USC was supposed to have taken care of this one handily. It was not so handily. As a matter of fact, USC was behind, had to score 2 scores in the last 2 minutes. So with that, it was like, I'm not sure if it was so much shame on you, Arizona State, for not, sticking it in there in the last 2 minutes and keeping them from scoring, or congratulations, USC.
And
great job.
It's weird saying this at this point, but I mean, first game of the season, crazy things happen a lot.
They do.
And this is the first game of the season for the Pac-12, even though it's week 10 for the rest of us.
USC,
or some of us.
USC dodged a major bullet right there.
Huge bullet for them. They'll lose somewhere along the way. It's going to be even ranked probably. They're always overrated. Yeah. Anyways.
Back to the Big Ten. Michigan State lost to Iowa.
Y'all, this is a Michigan State team that beat Michigan.
Crazy. This is crazy. Michigan, man. Lost 49-7 to Iowa. I mean, what do you say?
Iowa.
I don't know.
I mean, okay.
After beating Michigan.
Here's what I'm going to say. Absolutely despicable scoreline. 49-7, no excuse. Iowa's not a bad team. They never, the past couple years, they've been ranked multiple times throughout the season.
Sure.
Not a bad team. Yep. Still despicable scoreline. 49-7, that's a 42-point victory. Yep. That's not acceptable. I don't care what team you are. And if you're a Power 5 team in a conference, I don't think Vanderbilt's going to lose to Alabama by 42 points if they play.
Well,
maybe. Who knows?
They won't play, but yeah. Okay, then you had Maryland and Penn State. Okay, guys. One, Talia, he's looking great.
Yeah, besides that first game, man, he's been so
He has been on fire, yes.
So consistent.
Maryland, 35-19 over Penn State. Penn State is 0-3 to start their season, and I don't know what the statistic is. Probably have not been 0-3 to start their season in, I don't know how many
Even
years.
after their scandal year?
Yeah.
They
actually did really good after the scandal year.
I think you're right, yeah.
They had fire beneath them. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with them right now.
And then we could have talked about so many more games after this, but they were all canceled.
Yeah, there were 10 canceled or postponed games from this past weekend, including Purdue and Wisconsin. So Wisconsin, I mean, they've only had one game.
Man, I want to see Wisconsin play, man. Where's this freshman
Everybody wants to see this.
Like, we're all so excited for Wisconsin, and now they're about to be in their fourth
Wisconsin
week.
literally only has 5 games left on their schedule. If they have another one canceled, they probably just need to just scrap the season completely.
They really, and I like Wisconsin, man.
Yeah.
I like that quarterback. I like this story that they have going. Hope that they can figure something out here.
Yeah. As expected, Oklahoma State, Kansas State. Oklahoma State won that one. It was pretty close, though.
Which we expect, like, Kansas State was 4-2 going into the game. Not a bad team. 20-18, though.
Yeah, and the tricky thing for Oklahoma State, though, is that they had scored nothing in the first half. Like, it was 0, so they was looking like, oh my goodness, what's going on with Oklahoma State? But they came back, put on the gas, and
it was a good week for as far as college football goes. A lot of interesting games, I'd say. Probably not going to be the case in this upcoming week, but still.
Yeah. So join us when we talk about Week 11.